Well, apparently these entities know that the only reason I make videos is because they keep making noise around me and shit, you know? So I'm gonna share this next idea with you guys, you know? So you guys want to know how to make anything into a demon? How to transmute anything into a demon? Well, it starts with fear, you know? You could even add a little hate just to spice it up, you know? But initially, think about anything that can kill you and hold it at the top of your mind, you know? So like say that you build a conspiracy inside of yourself thinking that the world wants humanity dead. So they created a whole playground where they can, figure out their own deaths, pretend like they don't know, and then talk about how good of a life it was, So essentially, you know, it's like saying, we already went through the drugs, the alcohol, but for the normal people out there, who are also still tormented, but not as drastically and not as dramatically as we are, that have more been drawn to the darker side of society, that has to keep up, everybody going and everything going, by keeping a strong head, a strong mind, determination and focus, and not letting your eye basically off the goal, which essentially is make the world keep going round and round, right? So essentially, we're discussing how to transmute anything into demonic power, how we've all been taught how to do this, how the news supports us and pumping us full of fear, so we know that's one way. The other is with all the problematic and scare tactics that they utilize through finances and financial gain and financial oppression and so on and so forth, So essentially, fear becomes very essential. Next, what does they do? They give you a topic, so you got to pick a topic, Think about salt, think about sugar. That's usually a natural, normal people thing, And think about the effects of it on your body, And if that isn't enough, you need to consume. So just remember you're a consumer and that everything that you are consuming most likely is contributing to something right now that you yourself might be basically being blind to or kept blind to through the same presence that might be working in all of us. So essentially, it's called having faith for most of y'all,